Hello friends, welcome back to A Dog's Life in Liechtenstein, where this time Arthur and I helped my husband have a special birthday celebration in Zermatt, Switzerland. This year was one of those special birthdays ending in a 0, so our daughters and I gifted my husband Rainer with a hotel stay, dinner and a heli-skiing experience in Zermatt. Lucky Arthur and I got to tag along. We travelled all the way from Liechtenstein, up many long beautiful valleys until we got to Kandersteg, where we could put the car on a train. Being able to do this cut at least 2 hours off our journey. After 15 minutes of traveling through the mountain in darkness, you come out into Liechtenstein. And then wind down into a completely different valley. Then you turn up and into another mountain range and head towards where Zermatt is located. Visitors can't get to Zermatt by car. You have to leave it in the last village and take another train up into the mountains. After the last tunnel, you come out into Zermatt at its pretty end station. Zermatt is a carless town, and we could have taken one of the many small electric taxis or buses, but instead we decided to walk and headed up the main street to find our hotel. Most buildings in the town keep up that mountain feel with wooden facades, and even the McDonald's had to keep in with the theme. In our hotel, Arthur found a lovely surprise. In a very dog-welcoming way, there were bowls, a bone, and an old-style Swiss Army blanket waiting for him. That evening, we enjoyed a quiet birthday dinner by the fireside in the hotel's restaurant. It was nice to feel like adults, eating out again, and early the next morning we set out to find the helipad for Rainer's skiing rendezvous. The pretty red helicopters were ready and waiting, and so were the mountains. Finally, after a short delay, it was Rainer's turn, and from that moment the heli-skiing organization Zermatters took over. He didn't have to touch his equipment again until standing on the snow. He and his guide only had to wait. And then we heard it. Rainer's ride was coming up the valley. Once it landed, it was quickly fueled up, the equipment loaded, and then they could board.
Rainer! Good luck!
They even took an extra guy with them whose only job was to safely unload them and the equipment at the other end. Here's Rainer's view at that moment. Such a beautiful blue sky to head off into. The views were amazing, of course, especially the perfect view of the Matterhorn. This is where they landed and where they headed down into. Then no more photos, just skiing fun. Meantime, Arthur and I explored the town. We headed back up the main street, searching for the famous view at the top of it. Although there were plenty of nice things to see on the way. These particular old buildings are typical of the region. They were originally built to store grain, and the flat stones they sit on were to stop mice climbing up into the stores. Arthur and I made it to the top of town with its famous view of the Matterhorn. When we had our fill of looking, we headed back down to explore some of the older side streets with their quaint little wooden huts and houses. If I had to choose one to live in, I want this one. We made a big circle that brought us back to the stream that runs through the town and right past our hotel. Time for one last look at the Matterhorn. Did you like Zermatt, Arthur? Sadly, it was time to be back at the hotel to check out. At the railway station, Arthur had time for our last few minutes to play in his beloved snow before our ride down the mountain arrived. Bye-bye, Zermatt. We had fun and we'll definitely come back again. The seasoned traveller Arthur settled in for the long trip home. We wound our way back the way we had come. Back onto the car train and through the mountains towards home. That's all for this time from A Dog's Life in Liechtenstein. Please like and subscribe, or best of all, leave a comment. Tell us if there's anything you would especially like to see now that summer is finally coming. See you again soon.